All right, let's talk about the constant tug of war every single software team faces: speed versus control. It's this fundamental tension, and today, we're going to break down the two big philosophies that sit right at the heart of that debate. So, I want to kick things off with a question that really frames this whole conversation. Is your code built on vibes, or is it built on blueprints? It's a great way to think about it, right? It gets right to the heart of the matter. Are you basically just describing what you want and letting an AI figure it out? Or are you meticulously planning out and building every single piece yourself?
Okay, so let's dive right in. We are standing at a major crossroads in coding right now. Why? Because AI isn't some niche experiment anymore. Nope. It's become a totally routine part of our infrastructure. This isn't some what-if scenario for the future. It's happening right now, and it's forcing every single tech team to make a real, deliberate choice about how they build things.
And look, the proof is in the pudding. The scale of this shift is just staggering. A recent Dora report found that a whopping 90% of developers are now using AI at work. Think about that. These tools aren't just for early adopters anymore. They're pretty much everywhere. But let's be real for a second. Even with all these powerful new toys, the hard part of the job hasn't changed one bit. The real challenge is still shipping code that actually works, that scales when you need it to, and crucially, that doesn't become this tangled, unfixable mess 6 months from now. And that's exactly why this isn't just a tech decision, it's a critical business decision.
All right, so all of this brings us to the two big players, the two main ways people are approaching development in this new world. Let's really break down what we're talking about when we say vibe coding versus traditional coding.
So at the 30,000-foot view, it really boils down to two totally different philosophies. On one side, you've got vibe coding. This is all about leading with a prompt. You describe your intent, you give the vibe, and the AI generates the code. Then, on the other side, you have traditional coding, which is all about direct, hands-on human control. The developer is in the driver's seat, building the logic, the architecture, all of it from scratch. So let's zoom in on vibe coding. The best way to think about it is creating software by direction, not by construction. The whole rhythm of your day changes. It becomes this constant loop. You prompt the AI, you inspect what it gives you revise your prompt, and you go again. The developer's job? It totally shifts. You're less of a bricklayer and more of an architect or an orchestrator, steering the AI and making sure what it produces is actually good. Now let's flip the coin and look at traditional coding. This is all about explicit control. Everything is built on deliberate, thoughtful architecture and direct human implementation. And you know what that gives you? Clear ownership. That is so valuable because when something inevitably breaks, and it always does, it's way easier to hunt down the root cause when you can follow a clear, human-made trail of logic. Okay, so we've got the high-level philosophies down, but what does this actually look like day to day? How do these two ways of working stack up against each other in a real workflow? Let's get into the showdown. This table really lays it all out. Look at the vibe coding column. You can start planning with just a rough idea, which is super fast, but then jump down to debugging. You get quick suggestions from the AI, sure, but you have to do some heavy verification. And why is that? It's because you didn't write the code. You're almost reverse engineering it to figure out what the AI was thinking. Now compare that to traditional coding. Yeah, it's slower out of the gate, you need more upfront design, but that pays off big time in debugging, where you can do a much deeper diagnosis, and especially in maintenance, where that clear architecture makes it a breeze to extend and optimize later. At every single step, you're making a trade-off between speed and stability. And you know, these workflow differences, they aren't just some abstract academic debate. No way. They have very real, very measurable impacts on the business. So let's connect the dots here and focus on the three things every single leader cares about: speed, risk, and of course, cost. And this quote right here, it just absolutely nails the hidden danger. A fast first draft can hide weak structure. That is the core risk of going all in on vibes. You feel like you're flying, making incredible progress, but what you might really be doing is burying a ton of technical debt under the surface. And trust me, that bill always comes due. And we're not just talking theory here. This risk is very real. Just look at this number from GitGuardian, a 34% year-over-year jump in leaked secrets found in public code. But here's the kicker, the part that should really get your attention. Commits made with AI help were found to leak secrets at twice the rate of regular commits. That's insane. It's a perfect example of how speed without discipline can lead to some seriously expensive security holes. Which, naturally, brings us to cost. Vibe coding looks great on paper at first, right? It almost always has a lower upfront cost. You get to version 1 faster and for less money. But, and this is a big but, the total cost of ownership often tells a different story. A solid, well-architected system is just plain easier and cheaper to maintain, to build on, and to refactor over its entire life. You avoid those nasty hidden maintenance bills that pop up down the road.
So, does this mean vibe coding is bad? Absolutely not. It just has its own sweet spot. Where does it really shine? It's perfect for any situation where speed and experimentation are the name of the game. We're talking rapid prototypes, MVPs, little internal tools and automations, basically any project where the requirements are still fuzzy and you just need to learn and iterate fast.
And on the flip side, traditional coding is still the undisputed champ when stability and scale are everything. Think about it. Massive enterprise systems, safety-critical stuff in fintech or healthcare, huge platforms and infrastructure. Any place where, oops, it broke is not an option. When reliability is non-negotiable, you need that control.
So what's the takeaway here? Is it vibe versus traditional? A fight to the death? Not at all. The smartest, most effective teams out there are realizing the future isn't about picking a side. The future is hybrid.
So what does a smart hybrid approach actually look like? Well, it looks a lot like this. You let the AI handle the grunt work, all that scaffolding, boilerplate, and routine implementation that just eats up time. But you keep your human engineers focused on the stuff that really matters, the high-level architecture, the critical security reviews, and acting as that final, all-important quality gate before anything gets shipped to users.
This quote just says it all, really.
Developers are moving up a layer. It perfectly captures how the job is changing. It's becoming less about the physical act of typing out lines of code and way more about strategic thinking, about designing robust systems, and about making sure all these AI-generated pieces actually fit together in a way that makes sense.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. As AI gets baked into pretty much everything we do, the question for your team stops being if you're going to use it. That's a given. The real question, the one you need to be asking yourselves, is this. Are you just using the AI tools, or are you actually building the discipline and the processes you need to truly master them?